It's good to have you, and I think that the most important thing to point out here is you actually commend Fireeye for going public with this information because of its severity. The Washington Post is implying that it was Russia, but what do we know at this point?
We don't know a whole lot because Fireeye right now is still in its investigation phase. What we know is that, the sophistication levels that we typically see from these types of organized groups often lead to what we call advanced persistent threats or nation states like Russia, China, et cetera. We don't know for sure, but Russia would make sense because Fireeye has been actively going after Russia for a long period of time, both from exposing their intelligence operations, them infiltrating, critical infrastructure here in the United States, as well as a number of different areas. So Fireeye coming out with this and being very transparent about it has been a very good thing. In fact, they just recently released all the tools that were stolen. They stole a bunch of tools called red teaming tools, which are hacker tools that private companies use to simulate these types of attacks. They publish ways of identifying them so that they don't do any harm to any other organization out there if Russia were to use them against the world.
Right. So the nature of this attack, it's not so much that Fireeye had information that was stolen. They had tools, and those tools were kind of stolen. And these tools simulate serious attacks on major corporate websites and that kind of thing. So what does corporate America need to know right now about the vulnerabilities that now exist?
Yeah, when you look at these types of tools, they're designed to simulate what nation states would do. The sophistication levels and the advancements that these countries have. They have thousands of people, billions of dollars of resources trying to hack into the global economy, intelligence gaining purposes, intellectual property theft. And so for corporations to build defenses against this, private corporations build the same types of tools and techniques in order to simulate those types of hacks so that you can build defenses against it. And so, when you see these types of tools compromised, it means that Russia now has access to additional capabilities that they may have not had before. The good news is that Fireeye has come out and said that the tools that were taken, there were no 0 days, which 0 days, if you remember a few years ago, the NSA had a major data breach from the Russian intelligence unit, the GRU, that compromised and actually caused a big issue where they shut down hospitals and things like that because of the exploits and the tools that were leaked from the NSA. This isn't anywhere near as severe as something like that. But it definitely enhances Russia's capabilities and allows them to understand what private companies are doing to try to build defenses against what Russia is doing, what China is doing, what North Korea and Iran are doing against countries that they're hostile to, like the United States and its allies. So this for corporations and countries, we really need to continue to bolster our security stances against these types of attacks.
Welcome back. Big news in the tech world this week as Fireeye, a top cybersecurity firm based out of Silicon Valley, announced that hackers made off with tools that the company says can be used to mount future attacks. They believe it was a Russian state hacker. Joining us now is our tech expert, Chris Rader, for more info. Chris, thanks for joining us this morning. Now, this is still a developing story, but what makes this hack so potentially dangerous?
Well, this hack is potentially dangerous because the tools that were used by a highly respected company in the United States, a public company nonetheless, have been stolen. They've been taken from them. So the tools that they've used, the intellectual property that are used to launch attacks, have been removed from their digital vault and moved over to a foreign state, and all things are pointing to Russia, a nation state. A nation state is a government-sponsored terror cyber group, is what this is. So,
in Privacy Watch now, top cybersecurity firm Fireeye says that its systems have been breached by state-sponsored hackers. Now, Fireeye usually works to counter and investigate cyber attacks on government agencies and private companies, but were themselves targeted when hackers stole the company's own hacking tools, which they used to probe for security vulnerabilities in clients' computer systems. While Fireeye has not singled out a country of origin for the attack, evidence appears to point to Russian intelligence services. So to explain what this all means is CBSN technology reporter Dan Patterson. So Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Most people have never heard of Fireeye before, but it's probably affected their lives in some way, shape, or form. So let's just give everyone some context. Fireeye, what does this company do?
So Fireeye, Anne-Marie, is one of the largest and most well-respected firms in cybersecurity. They develop software and sometimes even hardware that is designed to detect and prevent cyber attacks, kind of like this one that just happened. Their clients are everyone from JP Morgan to Target to the U.S. government, even Sony. They were brought in after the movie hack. So they have built a suite of tools that is kind of designed to do what exactly happened to them, probe and detect and sometimes stop, but other times swipe cyber tools. That's what makes this particularly interesting.